Hello, everyone. I think I'm live now. Let me just check it out that whether I'm live. A very good evening to all. Those who are watching me live, can you guys give me the confirmation? Am I properly visible, clearly audible, or not? We'll wait for a few minutes so that everyone will join the session, and then maybe we will start the session. But in the meanwhile, if you guys give me the confirmation, those who are with me in the live, that would be great, right? Both plus plus. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Waiting from Bangladesh. Hi, Islam Jahid. Good evening, Yuvraj. Thank you so much for the confirmation, Nandavaram. Both plus plus. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. We'll wait for a few minutes. Let everyone will join, and then maybe we'll start for after a few minutes. Let's see how many people will be there today. Expecting a lot more, but let's see. Depends, right? Today's session is very interesting. It's not a normal Q&A which we will do today. The agenda, as I hope you already have seen from, many people have joined now. So you have seen from the thumbnail as well as from headline itself that the basic agenda is to talk about generative AI, which is quite booming nowadays. Lot many companies, startups, even big product based companies are investing a lot of their money on this generative AI. So I think that this is very very important to understand for everyone that what is this domain is all about, where our future is going, what are the key skills that we have to learn in order to get expertise over this domain. By saying that, I am also still learning it. I am also exploring it. I am also reading on a daily basis a lot many research papers, and whatever knowledge I have gained so far with my research per se, with respect to whatever platforms I have seen and learned, I'll try to share this on my platform. That's the whole agenda, because on a daily basis, lot many things are going on, and I'm not sure how much content I will be able to deliver here, but at least I'll try my level best to give you as much as I am aware as of now. Okay. Um Perfect. So before we will start the session, let me just uh, share the screen, and you guys can confirm to me, am I my screen is properly visible or not. So just give me a moment. I'm just sharing my screen. So this. I think screen is visible, right? Everyone? Screen is visible. Can you guys give me the confirmation? Perfect. Perfect. So I have just now shared the link of my bootcamp. If anyone is still interested, please go check it out. Very limited seats are left. For those who are not aware, uh, from starting from 13th of May, right? Starting from 13th of May, I'm starting my ML bootcamp. It's of 6 weeks course, and you can clearly see everything is available on the page itself. How many sessions are there? Within a week, 3 sessions will be there. Access will be lifetime. You will be able to access these two courses also. Mode will be live for machine learning part per se. And whatever content we are covering up in this bootcamp, please check out this page. Go inside this page and check out what is the syllabus of this bootcamp. You will be able to understand the entire thing in one go. Specific focus is on machine learning. As you know, there is a lot more in this AI space, in this data science space. But our focus on this bootcamp is to cover up the context of machine learning. Maybe in future, I am planning to create more boot camps related to deep learning, NLP, generative AI. But as of now, the focus is on machine learning, so that I think this is the major prerequisite. If there is anyone who is not at all aware about ML concepts, How will they be able to get a good understanding over the advanced concepts of deep learning and NLP? So this is the prerequisite. That's why I really want you all to just make sure, if you are someone who is really interested in this boot camp, before the seats will get filled up, please enroll it. Okay, I think today's 1st May, 13th May we will start the course. Okay, now, let's get started with the today's agenda, which is very, very interesting, and I think you will definitely enjoy it, today's session a lot. One humble request from everyone. Maybe when I'll start the session, I will definitely might forget key. Please hit like button. Please share this to everyone. But it's quite obvious, as I know my audience is very genuine. So please do hit like button. Please, I really need your support in order to reach to more wider audience, right? So my humble request for to everyone is, whatever learning you will gain from this session, whatever things you will be able to get as an understanding from this part, humble request from my side, you can say, is, first of all, please do comment in the comment section of this video whatever learnings you have gained. It really helps me to motivate ki acha, this is what they have learned from spending this much time with them, right? So that I will try to conduct more and more sessions like this. If you really want, I will definitely do. The only thing which I really want from your side is the comment. First thing is comment. I, as of now, I can see on my screen 14 people are watching currently, right? As of now, maybe it will get increase, right? So let me just refresh the screen and I'll look into it. So as of now, 14 people audience I can see. So I really want the comments from everyone, that whatever learnings you have gained, and in future maybe few people more will join, they will also please do the same thing. Also, do let me know at the end of the session. We will do few Q&A. Whatever queries you have, you can just ask from me. That's the only purpose to conduct this session live, so that we can have an interaction. Also, you can ask me whatever queries you have with respect to today's session. So with this, let's start our today's session. I think people have joined. If you have some of your friends who really want to join, please call them. Please tell them that we are starting our session now. Okay. So today's agenda is to explore generative AI fundamentals. When I'm saying fundamentals, you can say it's a beginner level thing, because I know there are people who are not at all aware about this concept, right? So what I will do in today's session is, I will try to talk about basics of Gen AI, and maybe if you like this video, if you will help me to reach to wider audience, and I'll get more likes, I'll get more views. Definitely, with respect to that, I'll try to conduct more live sessions on the same part. Okay. So let's get started our journey. Now, let's move to the next slide. Now, whenever we're talking about generative AI, first of all, the biggest question which you might have is, Ki Priya, what is the meaning of generative AI? We are hearing this term quite a lot nowadays. People are talking about that we are working on Gen AI project. What is the actual meaning of the same? So, when you are saying generative AI, it simply indicates that in this particular scenario, we are trying, or our model is trying to create a new content, generate a new content. And that domain where our model is trying to generate a new content is something called as generative AI. Very simple. If you will just understand from that concept, कि अभी तक के जो model थे, whatever models we have, traditional models I am saying, maybe you will learn in machine learning, in deep learning, we were trying to solve the problems of regression, classification, right? Now, today is the era where the major focus which companies are giving, or you will see in the IITs, in the IISc Bangalore, and in the universities outside India, standard tier 1 universities are really focusing on the research side of Gen AI. Why is that so? Because with the help of that, we are able to generate artificial images, we are able to generate artificial videos, we are able to generate artificial text, right? There's a lot more scope which is going on with respect to this domain. Now the question is, how can we learn more about this particular domain, and what is the internal thing going on with respect to this domain? Let's try to understand today. Now, how our model will be able to generate a new content? They are trying to learn the probability distribution. What is the meaning of that? Let's say your model is trained on some thousands data points. So what your model is doing is, internally your model is trying to understand the distribution of your data. हर एक डेटा का whatever data you are being trained on has its own distribution. So now when you are trying to, you know, uh, use this generative AI based models, I'll talk about what are those models we have. But whenever we are trying to have those kind of models, they're trying to check the distribution of that data, कि जो डेटा पे हम ट्रेन कर रहे हैं उसका डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन क्या है. एंड generative AI will try to generate similar kind of distributions on a new data set, right? Which has a variety, which has a novelty. Now, what are the applications we have? A standard application which I can tell you today is in healthcare domain. You all must be aware that in healthcare we have limited set of data points, right? For example, let's say tomorrow you are working in a project where you are trying to detect that whether a patient has a brain tumor or not. I'm giving you a simple problem कि you are dealing with a project where you will be having a data set. You will be having a data set, and that data set, you are saying your problem statement is to detect whether a brain tumor is there or not. That is the simple problem you are trying to deal with. But now you know that the people who are genuinely having a brain tumor is very, very less as comparable to those people who are not having a brain tumor. So always remember, with respect to this healthcare data, or with respect to this healthcare domain, you will always face this trouble. Uh, that is data imbalancing. This kind of problem is something which we call as data imbalancing. Even I have talked about this particular healthcare project in my recent data science end-to-end projects as well. Those who are my members, I think they must have seen that, right? Predictive analysis in diabetes based data, right? I have talked about similar problem. So data imbalancing is a major issue, and in that instances, what we will do is maybe we will try to use that generative AI based models to generate images of brain tumor patients, right? So that we will be able to avoid the problem of data imbalancing. So specifically in healthcare domain, I am saying it is very, very widely used. This domain of generative AI has a lot more scope. Now, the question is, what are the challenges? Because everything comes with its own pros and cons. If we have the applications, we do have challenges as well. Now, the biggest question is, do we have a challenge? What do you think? Do we have any specific challenge with respect to this particular domain? Any thoughts you have, or what do you think? Do you maybe you might have a thought ki Priya, we don't have any challenge, we just have good things. Now we will be able to get abundant of data problem is resolved, right? Or do you think no, we do have challenges in this particular domain? Any answers can I expect? Anyone? Any thoughts? Yes. What do you think? Does this domain of generative AI has any challenges? Any thoughts on this part? Anyone? One of the biggest challenge which I think nowadays people are facing, in future this challenge will be quite more because the work will be huge in this particular specific domain, is that at one point of time there will be ethical issues. At one point of time there will be an issue where we as a human being will not able to recognize what is actual truth and what is the fake one. The GANs, which I'm not sure how many of you are aware about the models like GANs. The only objective for that kind of models is to confuse a human being. Once they will be able to recognize that okay, this is not genuine or it is a genuine. The major thing is that is the challenge where there will be ethical issues, there will be issues where human beings will not even able to recognize that what is actual, what is fake. That is the biggest challenge which this domain will comes with. Now, the next question is that how this gen AI came into picture, because until so far We will be talking about machine learning, deep learning, NLP. Generative AI कहाँ से आ गया, मतलब एकदम से कहाँ से, मतलब इवोल्यूशन हुआ इस चीज का? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, दिस थिंग इज नॉट coming very instantly. Always remember, nothing is coming in one night. It requires a lot of steps. If you will be able to observe, in 1950s, so AI ka demand abhi recently you will see, from past 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, it starts booming up. But this artificial intelligence came in 1950s only, right? It's just that as we are moving towards 2000s, data starts increasing, and that is where people are doing more work with data and will be able to do more analysis, right? पहले के टाइम पे इतना डेटा ही नहीं होता था, right? We don't have that many smartphones, we don't have that many social media platforms. But nowadays it starts booming up, right? That's why you will be able to observe this database specific domains, maybe data science, data analysis, analytics, data engineering. These domains are also quite booming, right? In 1980s, after this AI, ML came into picture, which is a subset of AI only, right? Now here, if you will be able to see, many people are still confused. What is the difference between this AI, ML, and DL? Always remember, AI is one end-to-end machine. You can consider there is a robot which is able to do each and every task, just like any human being can do. मतलब कि एक रोबोट है, वो अपने डिसीजंस भी ले पा रहा है, हमारी तरह सोच भी पा रहा है, लॉजिकली काम भी कर रहा है. That is what you can say end to end machine is called as a AI only, right? But when we're talking about machine learning, you can say it's a part of a AI only. But this machine learning is trained based on historical data. For example, house price prediction. If you have watched my video on YouTube, I have uploaded in machine learning playlist itself. There was a video named house price prediction. This kind of things where we will be having some historical data, and with the help of that, we're trying to train our model. It is learning something from past and will be able to give us a future predictions. That is where ML came into picture. Depending upon what kind of learning we are giving, depending upon what kind of data set we have, do we have labeled data, do we have unlabeled data, we categorize it into supervised, unsupervised, semi supervised. But the task is similar. We do have a historical data, and everything is trained on that data to predict the future predictions, right? Then came the deep learning. Deep learning came in 2010s. Again, it's a sub part of machine learning. अब हुआ क्या कि when we are talking about high house price prediction, if you will be able to observe in that particular case, what are the features we have in house price prediction? Maybe we will be having the number of bedrooms as a feature. Maybe we will be having a number of balconies as the feature. Maybe we will be having number of you can say bathrooms as the feature, right? Maybe you will be having locality as the feature. So you will be able to see maybe this feature F1, this feature F2, this feature F3, this feature F4 will be a deciding factor to get a prediction of house, right? To get a prediction of a house. But all these features, F1, F2, F3, F4, which are directly dependent on getting a price of a house, is a simple feature. It's a very simple features. This is a very simple features, right? It's a very simple features. So initially when this ML domain came into picture, this deals with a very simplified features. And that is where our statistical machine learning algorithms works perfectly well, right? Statistical machine learning algorithms works perfectly well. The problem came when images start coming into picture. When we want to classify the difference between dog versus cat, when we want to do a image segmentation kind of a task, when we want to detect that okay, any tumor cell is available in a given image or not, that is where problem came. Why? Because we started dealing with something called as complex features in those scenarios. Our data will become huge, and that is where machine learning model starts failing, and a new domain of deep learning came into picture. That's why you will observe that whenever we're talking about deep learning based data, we are heavily dealing with images. But in machine learning, usually we are dealing with a simple features, or you can say numerical data set, right? But in deep learning, we are having image based data set. I hope you all must be aware about that thing, right? So after that, so this is one by one. So after that, what happens is people starts looking into that, okay, we do have a textual data, a problem like language translation, where let's say I want to convert English language to Hindi, right? English to maybe Hindi. So in that case, deep learning fails. In that case, statistical machine learning also gets failed. In that case, the only rescue point was recurrent neural network, RNN, which is a branch of nothing but NLP, natural language processing. So what happened is we moved towards the RNN in the third stage, right? So initially we have statistical machine learning, simple features. Then we started dealing with the image-based data. We got complex features. Then we got language translation-based models where we are trying to translate one language to another, maybe English to Hindi. For example, today when you go to Google Chrome and you will say language uh, translator, and let's say you are entering something on maybe English, right? And you want to convert that language to Hindi, right? So let's say I'm saying my name is Priya Bhatia, right? So what is happening is automatically you will be able to see Google is having internally language translator, which is easily converting my name is Priya Bhatia to Mera naam Priya Bhatia hai, right? In an amazing manner. Initially, that was a biggest problem, but after that, RNN based models came into picture. There are lot many challenges which they have faced. I definitely suggest you all, those who are very new to this particular domain, please refer the research papers of these particular models which I'm talking about today, right? In the PPT as well, I have attached the references of a research paper. If you can refer that as well, whatever references I have shared in the PPT, right? So that is where the origin of natural language processing domain came into picture. So now you can see how this complete evolution happened, where initially we will be having AI, then ML, then DL, and after that, in the language translation, we will be able to see a origin of generative AI. Can you see this tick mark? This after 2020s, this generative AI domain boom up. Why is that so? Let's try to understand that as well. You will be able to observe a time came recently where let's say you want to write any email, right? Let's say someone has mailed you and you went to email. When you write thanks for, there will be auto suggestions which is coming up. Have you seen that thing? Auto suggestions, where they are already suggesting to us this kind of suggestion, reaching out to me. You just entered this thanks for, automatically this suggestion is coming up. This is where the origin of, you will say, language based models came into picture. And that is the origin of generative AI, Gen AI, right? So, how is this working? It is basically working all in all with the help of the probability theory, right? Where it is trying to check the probability of what could be the highest probability of a word coming after this thanks for. So, all these are the features F1 and F2. You can say X1 and X2. And internally, my model is trying to calculate the probability of the next word which should come after this thanks for. That is how the complete thing was done in the language models. So in language models, you will be able to see that probability, specifically the Bayes theorem, is the hero in order to detect that what could be the next word we should have after this particular specific words. And that is how the complete auto suggestions, wherever you are seeing in chatbots, in emails, this language models are working upon. Now, what happened is that when these language models are being trained on very huge corpus, very huge corpus, right? That is where that is called as large language models, right? So, large language models, and the short form which you will heard lot many number of times called as LLMs came into picture. So it's a language model only. It's just that if, let's say, I will try to train my language models on all the Wikipedia pages, right, all the research papers, whatever is available on the web, basically I'm trying to take a very very huge corpus, whatever be the internet material I have, I'm trying to train that with this language models only. And that is why the name given it as large language models. So now I hope you will be able to understand that why it is coming under the domain of generative AI. Because the only reason is it is trying to generate a text, or you will see in other nowadays we have images also, we have videos also. In a way, in other words, simple भाषा में अगर बोला जाए कि कुछ ना कुछ जनरेट हो रहा है, या तो टेक्सचुअल डेटा जनरेट हो रहा है, या फिर इमेजेस जनरेट हो रही हैं, या फिर वीडियोस जनरेट हो रही हैं. और अगर किसी भी टूल के अंदर when I'm giving the prompt, when I'm giving a command, if something is generating new, that is the domain of Gen AI. And internally, if you will be able to observe, the internal theory is this probability, is this language models only, which is basically helping me to give the probability that how much is the probability of that particular text given this as the input. Whichever word is having a higher probability, that is the one which is giving me a next word suggestion. That is how, in a I would say brief manner, this thing is internally working on. Now, if you will be able to see, the internal model which is going on in these language models is transformers. Now, I'm not sure how many of you are aware about this transformers, but I would highly suggest to read this research paper by the name of Attention is All You Need. This is the research paper which, for the very first time, when people from Google and different companies have developed this particular model altogether, that was a huge success. Because what was happening is, before this development, only when we are applying a recurrent neural network, when just now I have told you about the language translation part, right? जैसे ही वो long text को ले रहे थे, long sentences को ले रहे थे, when they are taking a long sentence, people are struggling with that. They will not able to get a appropriate translated word. For example, if I want to convert any text from English to Hindi, when I'm taking a very small sentence, it was working perfectly fine on that days. But as I increase the sentence value, the performance was very very bad. At that point of time, this model of transformers came into picture, where it is trying to give us a attention mechanism. Now, how beautifully, if you nowadays, if you will just write in a Google translator any long sentence, you will be able to see that the performance is very very good. The only reason is, internally this kind of models is working, which is basically able to get a proper context of the meaning, right? Now, you will see this BERT, GPT, all these are the versions of transformers only. In a layman term, if I'll say, transformer is an encoder decoder based architecture. By saying that, internally there is a lot more things going on. I would highly suggest one article by the name of J. Elmer, if I'm not wrong. He's the guy who has written a very amazing article. I will try to attach the link of his article also in the description of this video, or in the comment section of this video. So you will observe that this BERT and GPT, both are the versions of this transformers only. Transformer contains encoder decoder architecture, where encoder is the input point, decoder is the output point. For example, let's say I want to convert my sentence of English to Hindi. My name is Priya Bhatia. So you can say that my name is Priya Bhatia will go to the encoder side as an input. And with respect to every particular English word which I'm mentioning, I will be able to get the output in Hindi in the decoder side. That's how internally the things are going on. Now, if I just take the set of encoders from this transformer, that model is called as BERT. If I just take the set of decoders from the transformers, that model is the GPT, generative pre-trained transformers. Now, when you want to convert one text to another text, for example, just now I have talked about language translation, where I have one text, I want to convert that text to another text. I want to convert one text in English to Hindi. Text to text, that is where internally this BERT and GPT came into picture. Very good example. I hope you have seen ChatGPT. Internally, GPT 3.5 or GPT 4 is working there. Now, whenever you are writing any text, you are also getting a text only, right? You are writing some question, you will be able to get the response. So internally, this GPT is working on. If you will be having a free version, that is the GPT 3.5, which is currently working on. If you will be having a premium version, paid version, you will be able to access the GPT 4, which is more powerful than GPT 3.5. Even the Claude AI, which is nowadays again quite booming. I don't know why many people are not aware about that platform. I'll talk about that at the end of this particular session. Again, that platform is also an example of this text to text based models. Second type of models which you will be able to see nowadays is text to image. For example, after this session, please go check out this DALI, stable diffusion. In this particular kind of platforms, if let's say we as a user will give the prompt, they will be able to create a wonderful images. For example, let's say you will say create an image of elephant in the garden or anything like that. It will be appropriately try to create the similar kind of image. So you are passing a textual based data as an input, and you are getting as an output a image with the help of a platforms called DALI stable diffusion. And then we will be having third variety of generative AI tools which are working nowadays is text to video. For example, just go and explore OpenAI Sora. It's a platform where if you will just enter the text, you will be able to get the video out of the same. So whatever prompt you will mention that can you create a video for that this and that value, it will try to give you similar kind of videos in a very appropriate manner. There are so many internal things going on, but the basic funda is the transformers only. So I would highly suggest everyone today, after going back from this session, to read this article and the research paper of attention is all you need, and check out the internals working of this transformer, because whatever things nowadays we are looking into it, the internal, I would say, foundation is this transformer based architecture only, right? So we have text to text based models in the Gen AI domain. We have text to image as well. We have text to video as well nowadays. So you can see how vastly this domain has opened up for us, where there's a lot more things to explore now, right? I have already mentioned the model names. I have already mentioned the tools name. Please, after this session, go and explore. I cannot cover up everything within one session. Today's session is just to give you an idea that these are the things which are going on. I'm not sure how many of you are already aware about all those things. For example, how many of you are aware about this OpenAI Sora? I'm not sure. But if you will go and read out the article, you will be able to get a better understanding. Can you see? Creating a video from text. Sora is an AI model which can create realistic and imaginative scenes from text instructions. So you can read the technical report, how internally this is working. Can you see this video? This is all given by a prompt. Can you see a prompt? Prompt means it's just you can say the values which are entering by the user, right? Any prompt, any instruction, you can say set of instructions which a user is giving to the model. For example, you can see a stylish woman walks down a Tokyo street filled with warm glowing neon and animated city. She wears a black leather jacket, a long red dress, and black boots. If you will just click on this, you will be able to see the complete prompt which the user has entered, and accordingly you can see how amazingly whatever uh, the knowledge in the prompt they have mentioned: stylish women, Tokyo street, dress, boots, similar to that, red particular dress. Can you see everything is there in this particular video? So this is the amazing thing which you will be able to understand from this particular part. Again, there is a lot more historical footage of California during the gold rush. Again, you can see a complete video is coming up. Again, you can see there is a prompt and video is coming up. So basically, this kind of tools are there, which is a part of Gen AI, generative AI, because here they are trying to generate something new by just giving a set of instructions to the model, right? This is something which is very amazing, and I must tell you that please start exploring these things now only. Before then it's too late. See, I'm not, I will not say ki the people who are not at all aware about these things start uh, going into depth, going into mathematical intuition, but at least you should be aware about these technologies, because you don't know how the future will go, you don't know what are the things which will happen, you don't know what kind of jobs will be there, the kind of pace by which these things are growing. Please start having interest in these things, and let me tell you, these are very very interesting things which is currently going on, as comparable to whatever task you are doing currently, right? If you will just go and sit, right, let me just explore, that's it. I'm not saying just go a deep dive into research papers, I'm just saying go for the exploration purpose. Check out the tools that we have, at least have basic idea what is generative AI. Many people nowadays are not even aware. That is something which is a very bad thing, right? You should be aware about these concepts. Now the question is that how my internal model is able to generate these text, maybe the images, maybe the videos, maybe the text all together. And that is where the concept of semantic search came into picture. For example, I am giving you a very simple example. Let's say I will say to you, maybe, let me take a very simple example, okay? One thing I am saying, I love Apple. This is the text, okay? I am saying, I love Apple because, or maybe I can say, I love eating apple in the morning. Let's say this is a simple context which I am giving to my model, okay? This is the one sentence. I love eating apple in the morning. This is the first sentence. Second sentence is I am I am currently working in Apple. This is the second sentence. I am passing the same sentence to the model. Now, this apple is a same word, right? This apple is a same word, but the context is different. Will you guys agree with me? When I'm saying I love eating apple in the morning, here I'm referring this apple as a fruit. And when I'm saying I'm currently working in Apple, can I say here I'm referring Apple as a company name? Do you guys agree with me? Now, as a human being, it is very easy for us to understand that, okay, she is referring in the first sentence a fruit, in the second sentence a company name. But for a model, for a model, it's really difficult task. It's really difficult task because the words are same, the spelling is same, the pronunciation is same, word is same. So now my model will be, how my model will be able to understand or will be able to distinguish between the fruit and the company name. And that is where the concept of this semantic search came into picture, in which we have two things. You will learn about embedding, and then you will learn about something called as vector database. Vector database, right? First thing is embedding. What is the meaning of that? Embedding means that my model not will not able to understand this textual data. What it will do is it will try to convert this textual data to a numeric vector, right? It will try to convert the textual data to a numeric vector. So every particular word which you're referring, I love eating apple in the morning, it will be converted to some numeric number in such a way that it will be able to get the context as well. Similarly, this particular sentence internally will also be converted to a numeric vector, because my model won't be able to understand this textual data. So, by taking its context as well, it will be able to convert every particular textual data to a numeric number. Now, here we have so many techniques. For example, there is a very famous technique called as word to vec, glow, right? There are many other techniques also we have. That's where you must have seen a very good example, which is very, very famous. For example, king minus man plus women is equal to queen. Because internally, you will be able to observe that king and man will be very close to each other, and women and queen will be very close to each other. Because internally, these embeddings are taking the contextual meaning also of different words. And for those words which are having a same context, they are very close to each other. And those words which are having a very huge difference, they're very, very far from each other in terms of distances. So if I'll just show you in the image based data, uh, king, or maybe you can say word to vec. Let me just try to see what images I will be able to get. If I'll be able to get the distance based image, let me show you how what I'm trying to convey here. Perfect. Maybe can you see this particular image? This king and queen, this man and women. So automatically when this word embeddings will be applied, they king and man, you can see they are trying to indicate a similar intuition. That's why they're in the same color. Man, sorry, queen and women, they're in the similar color. So when I'm saying king minus man plus women, automatically I know that queen will be the answer. So this is something which is really, really amazing, right? You can see more examples with respect to the same thing, but internally, this is the significance of word embeddings, where it will try to give us a vector, which is a numerical representation of each and every word, in a way that whatever words have similar literal meaning, have similar context, they are closer to each other as comparable to those words which are having no internal representation, no internal context with each other. Second thing is vector database. Now, what happens is, what is this database? I hope everyone knows nowadays. So my SQL, playlist is also going on. For those who have not followed up, please do check it out. It's one of the most amazing videos which I have uploaded so far on my channel. Please go check out the database videos. I have talked about specifically MySQL there. So you know that database is something where we will be able to store the data in an organized fashion, right? Now, you can ask me one question, Priya. Okay, so what is happening is we are trying to convert these textual data to embeddings, to the numeric vectors. And what we are trying to do is we are trying to store this in the databases. Now you can ask me, Priya, why is this vector database and what is this called as vector database? Maybe we can store in MySQL, and that's what they have also tried. Firstly, initially, what they have done, maybe researchers I'm talking about, they have tried to convert every particular word to a numeric vector, and they have stored it in the MySQL based database, relational database I'm talking about. Now, what is the problem with the RDBMS based data? Let's say I am having this MySQL based databases, and now you know that we are dealing with a huge amount of data, right? We are dealing with a huge amount of data. When I'm saying data, I'm talking specifically talking about the textual data now. It means that we will be having a huge amount of vector embeddings as well. Do you guys agree with me? More the data, more the embeddings. And let's say I will be having 1 TB size of data size, record size, and let's say I'm trying to store it in a MySQL based database. What is the issue? In future, let's say I'm trying to run any query. So what is happening is, maybe I'm talking about, I have for huge corpus the embeddings, okay? Now I'm talking about one simple query. Let's say I am saying to the doctor, to the, nowadays we have something called as med AI, where Google is working upon, and they have a medical based database available. Let's say as of now I'm saying, let's say they have uploaded in the MySQL based database. Now I'm saying to this med AI tool that I have a high sugar and very high fat. My, maybe let's say, weight is increasing on a daily basis. Now when I'm passing this kind of knowledge to my med AI tool, which we have, which is basically able to diagnose with respect to whatever features I have, that what is the problem which I might face internally in my body, maybe diabetes, maybe blood sugar, anything XYZ thing. So what is happening is it will try to first of all scan the entire data and will fetch whatever embeddings I will be able to get for the high sugar and for the high fat, which particular embedding is very similar to this internal embeddings that we have in the tool. Am I saying it correctly? So whatever things you are passing as a query, this is the user query. What will happen is this user query will be converted to a embedding first, because my model will not be able to understand the textual data. Then this embedding will be compared with the internal embeddings that we have, and my model will be seeing that which particular two embeddings are very close to each other, and that is where it will be able to give me the final answer that okay, this is the problem that you are facing up. I hope I'm making sense, right? Now the issue is that let's say if I will be having 1 TB of records, so what will happen is this query which a user is generating, my model will apply a linear search here. Now here you will see DSA is coming up, right? तभी मैं बोलती हूँ कि DSA is important. So what is happening is in this particular tool, if let's say 1 TB of data is available and user has entered some query, now my model is internally going step by step checking that which particular embedding is closer to the query embedding. It will take a lot of time. Nobody has nowadays that much patience, right? So this is where the complexity is very, very huge. As you will increase the size of the data, searching process will be increased, and that was the major issue which internally researchers have faced, and that's why they cancelled this database to store the embedding. That's the major reason. Because if the data size is very huge, we cannot rely on this linear search. I hope I'm making sense. Because when query is given by the user, we want a faster result that okay, this is the issue. That is where you will say that it's a good tool, right? If it is taking 3 days, 4 days, 5 days just to print one answer, who will use that tool? And that is where, for the optimization per se, they call this vector database. So the good thing about this vector database is the database provides faster execution time, faster result, and will be able to store the data in a very optimized manner. This is where it is trying to get a concept of cosine similarity, right? So whatever be the terms you feel is jargon for you, now it's your task after the today's session to explore about these things. I don't know how many of you are aware about this cosine similarity concept. So what is happening is this vector DB internally will be able to evaluate that okay, this query tab which is entered by the user, their embedding, and my complete DB embedding, which is having a more cosine similarity, and automatically it will be able to give us a faster execution result. That's why you will be able to see that whatever things internally is going on in the large language models, a huge concept of semantic search came into picture, where specifically we will be having a concept of embeddings and vector DB. Now I hope it is clear why is that so. So it is basically help us to provide a contextual significance. I hope you remember my example of Apple, jahan pe my model will be able to understand that first apple is my fruit, second apple is my company, right? How? Via this embeddings, via this vector DB. Embeddings basically try to give us a numerical representation of a word. It will be able to fetch the contextual part as well based on the distance values. If two words are similar, they will be having a shorter distance value. If two words are dissimilar, they will be very, very far from each other. Second thing is vector DB. Why? To efficiently store and query the vector representations. It calculates the similarity score called as cosine similarity, I told you, between the query vector given by the user and the stored vector, which is already stored for a huge corpus. It provides a faster execution to identify similar vectors, and it is an optimized storage. That is the major reason why internally this vector DB is being used. We are not going for MySQL based databases in this specific case, in this specific use case. So far so good. Is that part is clear to everyone? I have until so far talked about what is generative AI, right? I have talked about how this evaluation of Gen AI came into picture, where initially we have some simple features, then we move towards the complex features based on image based data. Then we have talked about language translation problems, where let's say we want to convert one language to another. I have given you the example of converting English to Hindi because I am just aware about only two languages. That's the only reason. Maybe if you're aware about multiple languages, you can explore that. And after that, we came towards this language based model where the important thing is transformers. Now, in transformers and Gen AI, we are dealing with either text to text based models where we will be having BERT and GPT, which is, you can say, a version of transformers only. BERT is a set of encoders, GPT is a set of decoders only. Text to image, where we will be having DALI and stable diffusion. Text to video, where we will be having OpenAI Sora. Just now I have shown you also how by giving a prompt it will be able to create a wonderful videos as well. After that, we have talked about that how internally uh, they will be able to understand the context with the help of two things: embeddings and vector db. What is the intuition behind that? I have clearly explained that. Any doubt till so far? So one question which Islam is asking, let me take his question as well before we will proceed to the next part. What is the main part of mathematical intuition behind generative AI? Good question. So here, if you will see in the back presentation part, this is the transformers architecture, right? Which you can see. This is where the mathematical intuition came into picture, where which I have not talked about. Can you see? There is a input going on, input embeddings are there. There will be something called as multi-head attention, feed forward, and at the above layer, you can see output probabilities are there. So internally, how it will be able to give us the probability that okay, this will be the optimal image, or this will be the optimal video, or this will be the optimal text which should come as input text as an input prompt. That is where maths plays a very important role. That is where internally neural networks are coming into picture. That is where internally transformers based architecture coming into picture. So there is a maths behind this architecture, nothing more than that. Nowadays we have pre-trained models, right, where we can directly take the models and we directly train upon that. But the internal mathematical intuition is this architecture only, because of which you will be able to get so many versions of different models, right? So if you will ask me, Priya, what is the important thing in this complete Gen AI which I should be aware of, I would say this research paper which I have referred here. I would say this complete architecture which I have just now referred here, because internally the mathematical portion which you have is there in this part only. I hope this answers your question, right? Any other question anyone is having? Supreme clarification. Thank you, ma'am, for such motivation. Thank you so much, Yuvraj. Good explanation. Thank you so much, Islam. Mayur is a member, I think. He's asking the question, ma'am, if the AI goes in the wrong direction, I think they're talking about the challenges of Gen AI. And as I mentioned to you all, that definitely this is one of the challenge, that wrong direction I should not say, but definitely there is a safety concern, there is some ethical issues which will come up in future, definitely, for sure. Because see, always remember everything has its own pros and cons. And अगर हम सिर्फ ऐसा बोलें कि सिर्फ अच्छी चीजें ही हमें मिल रही हैं, ये सच नहीं होगा, right? We do have negative implications for the same. It's just that we have to make that in our head ki how can we be aware about those precautions, how can we take the precautions that negative things won't happen in future in that much scenario, and we will be able to utilize the important uh, you know pros part of the tool, not the cons part. Okay. Shall we move ahead? Your explanation is too good. I'm really happy to learn from you. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Yuvraj. Thank you so much. Shall we start? Maybe then I'll take a new question. So I'll take this question maybe at the end. So let's move ahead now. Now, a very great example of this text to text model, where I told you that GPT is the one which is working upon, is Chat GPT. And I hope that everyone is currently somehow working with this tool, maybe to create a content, maybe to solve some research problems, maybe to write some LinkedIn post, maybe to upgrade their own YouTube channel. There are so many n number of factors. At least for me, on a daily basis, I'm using these two tools. Now, initially, I was just using ChatGPT, to be very frank, and I was not even aware about this Claude AI. But now, very recently, I feel that this tool is also doing quite a good job, and it is very competitive as comparable to ChatGPT as well, by the name of Claude AI. Now, let's try to understand that what is these two tools are. First of all, as I told you, that these two tools are trying to provide us a text to text based data only. Let's say you will ask any question, your tool will be able to give us a result. Now the question is that how these tools are different. You can see, right, the difference also in the PPT itself. From wherever I have taken the images, the pictures, I have already given the credit and reference to them, because I think it's very important. I have not designed these images, I have directly fetch up from few articles, and whatever articles, whatever resources I have taken these images, I have attached it in the end of this particular PPT, so you can just check it out. Even the last particular picture which I have just now shared with you, right? With respect to this evolution of AI, like Gen AI, I have mentioned the credit. It's a research.io website from where I have taken this picture, because I found it pretty much awesome. And apart from this, this particular picture is from this research paper of attention is all you need. So everything is already attached. Okay. Now let's move ahead with respect to this particular portion. You can see here that with respect to the performance part, in terms of undergrad level knowledge, in terms of grad level reasoning, in terms of school math, math problem solving, multilingual math, coding part, reasoning over text, mixed evolutions, knowledge Q&A, common knowledge, somehow this Claude 3, specifically this opus based model, is performing far better than this GPT-4 or GPT 3.5, and even Gemini Pro and Gemini Ultra. I hope all people are aware that this Gemini is something which is done by Google people. Google Bart initially they named it, and then Gemini Pro, Gemini Ultra came into picture. Then we have this GPT developed by Microsoft, right? Chat GPT, specifically OpenAI. And then this Claude is done by Anthropic company. Okay. So this is the major thing which you should be aware of. Now, in terms of performance, this Claude 3 model or tool is very competitive and is giving a very good result as comparable to Chat GPT as well. Today, after this session, I will really request to everyone to please go to this website of Claude AI. I'll show you also demonstration. What is a good thing with respect to that tool? I'll tell you each and everything. Don't worry. So here you can see with respect to the version part, both are free versions and both are paid as well, depending upon what kind of model you are working with. For example, free version GPT 3.5 will be there, right? In the paid version, you will get access of GPT-4. Similarly, in Claude, you have Claude 2 version. In the paid version, you will have the access of Claude 3, where we will be having Opus, Sonnet, and Haiku. Now you will see for the paid plans, both are having an equivalent amount of fee, which is $20 per month. Language model, as you can see, for the free and paid, I already have talked about. Languages, 95 plus languages Chat GPT is being trained on. Claude is being trained on English, Japanese, Spanish, and French. Okay, that's something which is fine. Now, the important thing here to understand is that these are the two tools that we have, right? As of now, I don't have a premium version. That's why you can see by default, I have access of GPT 3.5. But in future, let's say if I want to renew, I usually do that whenever I have a huge amount of time I feel that okay, this month I'm quite free, so I usually upgrade to plus and will try to explore the features. So you will be able to see that GPT-4 is there, which we will be able to access when we will be having a plus version. And here you can see it includes DALI, browsing and more. Do you remember DALI is something where we will be just mention the prompt and it will be able to generate the perfect images as well, right? When you're talking about this Claude.ai, you will be able to see I have already worked with a lot with respect to this particular tool as well. So these are the previous chats from last month. So let's say I'll say hi, and you will be able to see. I will be able to get a similar kind of a platform where everything is there. I just have to mention whatever things I want to get. It will automatically able to respond that, right? Now the question is, you can ask from me that Priya, how it is different. You are saying that you have worked on these two platforms. uh, Maybe can you tell us at what point of time which particular platform will be will be the best one? First of all, as this experience varies person to person, right? Many people will might work in different use cases. For me, I have worked with respect to this research per se in data science. I have worked for content creation part because I'm a YouTuber. I also used to teach people, take seminars, workshops. So I used to create a content on a daily basis. So I'm for learning purpose, for content creation purpose, for statistical analysis purpose, I'm using these two tools quite heavily nowadays. Now let me tell you where is the difference. For example, in ChatGPT normal version, if you will be able to see, I don't have an option to upload any file. I don't have an option to upload any file, right? So if I'll just show you, in this case, you won't be able to see any of the my cursor is there, right? I don't have an option because I'm not having a access of GPT-4 here. If you have, then you have an option also. But in Claude.ai, if let's say you want to do some data analysis task, if you want to analyze any file, you still have an option to upload any of the file whatever you want, and you will be able to tell to your system that maybe let's give me something, any ed or anything like that. For example, let's say I'll take any data here. If I do have, let's say I have a data file. If it is not quite big, it will be uploaded. Now you can see an error is coming up. You may not upload files larger than 10 MB. So the limitation of this tool is that if let's say you want to upload any file in this Claude database, so in a free version, you cannot upload more than 10 MB file, but it's okay. Let's say if you are working in a company and you want to analyze some data, and let's say you will be having a bigger version of file and you don't have a paid version also. So maybe you can take a sample of the data and you can just start it out. It will help you to start your journey for EDA, start your journey for visualization, anything like that. Second important thing is, many times it happened with me that whatever be the logical questions I have asked with respect to DSA per se, sometimes chat gpt won't be able to perform well, and this Claude will be able to give me a appropriate result. It can happen vice versa as well, depending upon internally how much training happened. But what I'm trying to convey here is that somehow it is beating chat gpt in terms of each and everything, in terms of logical reasoning, in terms of the capabilities of uploading a file even in a free version, which is not there in chat gpt as well, right? For example, let's say you will try to tap on the custom data. A few days back only I have done that, and then I have tried to add a prompt to give me suggestions on YouTube videos, and you won't believe me how appropriately this Claude.ai tool will be able to give me a very good suggestions on the YouTube videos, which will help me to reach maybe 10K subscribers very soon. That's the next target which I have. So definitely with your support we will be able to do it very soon. I really want everyone to just support me in that plan. But I was doing a research on that basis, and I will be able to get a very awesome result in this Claude tool as comparable to this chat gpt. So what I would suggest to everyone is, please try to use these two tools on a daily basis, and maybe you will automatically able to realize that for your task, maybe chat gpt is the one which will work well. Specifically for my task, it's a combination of these two. For few things, I can feel ChatGPT. For example, in content writing, maybe to write a LinkedIn post, ChatGPT is performing pretty well for me. Now, when I'm saying to write a LinkedIn post and for the content writing, I have seen so many people who just copy paste the content. I don't do those stuffs. Even when you will see my post on LinkedIn, you won't feel like that I'm just doing a copy paste. Always remember that whatever post you are doing, whatever things you're writing, right, please make sure that you will first of all write your own post. On top of this, maybe you can take a help of Chat GPT, or maybe vice versa. You can just say to Chat GPT or Claude AI that I really want to write this kind of a post, can you help me with that? Once you will be able to get the post, please do add your own personal things on top of this. This is not perfect. I'm again saying this is not perfect. You have to apply your own personal things to get that attention from people, because everyone wants that personal thing to be there in your post. And if you're just copy pasting from the AI based tools, you will not able to get that much reach which you should get if you are, able to write your own post. So always remember, I always say that these tools are something which will basically help us to improve our work. But if you will just do the copy paste in terms of coding, in terms of writing a content, in terms of making a YouTube videos, in terms of creating a thumbnails, it won't work in an appropriate manner, right? Otherwise, what is the difference between human beings and that tools, right? We can develop human connections, we can develop connections, we can build relationships, we have emotions which the tools don't have. So please make sure that in the ease of these tools that we are covering up, don't forget to have your own emotions in your work with respect to whatever things you are doing. That's the last note which I want to convey here. With that, thank you so much. I forget to mention the thank you slide, but it's okay. I just at the very end tried to create that so that everything will be appropriately clear to everyone, and I hope that it should be. So, if you have now any sort of doubts, please you can ask from me. Otherwise, we can wrap up the session. Again, please do try to explore this machine learning bootcamp if you are interested. If you have any doubt with respect to this bootcamp as well, now you can ask from me because now the session is over. If you have any sort of doubt with respect to the session, with respect to this upcoming bootcamp, you can ask from me. I am here for next few minutes. And if there is no question, maybe we can wrap up the session. Otherwise, you can ask me the question. I'll try to answer all your questions, right? Also, I hope, I am expecting that you guys are following the series of sequel. How it is going on? Can anyone give me the feedback? How is that sequel playlist is going on? It is about to end within this month. We will try to finish the sequel portion. So where it is, this is the one, right? Sequel mastery from basic to advanced. I think it is going so far so good, but I feel a lot of push is still required from your end. Please, those who are studying from this particular playlist, whatever learnings you are gaining, please do mention in the comment section. आप लोग comment क्यों नहीं करते हो? क्या जाता है आप लोगों का comment करने में, right? Please do comment. It will really help me to understand that whatever things you are learning is making sense to you or not, right? I know these sessions are quite big, and believe me, it takes a lot of effort, genuine effort, I am saying, to publish these kind of videos. I really want your support in order to reach to as many people as we can. Still, you can see there are limited views. I really want to reach to many people so that many people will be able to gain access to these kind of, you know, things, because you also understand that how important this kind of sequel ho gaya, DSA ho gaya, or Gen AI today's session, right? All these things are very, very important in today's domain. So whatever things I'm trying to upload on my channel, everything is with respect to the things which will really help you to grow in your work, right? With respect to data side, whether you are data scientist, data analytics, whether you want to go for data engineering, in every particular domain, whatever things we are learning till so far, maybe in a paid boot camp, maybe in the free version of videos, every learning is worth it. It's just that your time, your commitment is required. And definitely, if you are following it, I'm pretty sure you will go very far, right? Now let me take the questions. What are the questions you guys have? So S Kumar is saying, ma'am, I missed your previous Python DSA batch. So when will be the next Python DSA batch? As of now, there is no plan, to be very frank, to launch the similar batches again. uh, whatever boot camps I'm launching, for example, SQL I have done, machine learning I'm doing currently. I'm not sure that whether I'll try to take second live boot camps of the same or not. That's why I always say, if you are interested, please do try to attend in the very first go. If you still want to learn, so maybe you can access that course, you can purchase that course itself. What I can do from my side is that if you still have any confusion after learning from those recorded because recording is available for every session, so if you will learn from those recordings, that is the updated DSA course which I have for now. And if you learn from that particular videos which is available on the portal, if you got any doubt, maybe you can just mail me out. I will try to take time for you specially, and will try to resolve your concerns if you have. Many people are still purchasing the DSA course of that one, because new course as of now there is no plan. If at any point of time I feel like that I should launch again the same DSA course or same SQL or ML course, definitely I'll try to announce it on the YouTube community, on the LinkedIn post. So please stay tuned in all these platforms. The very first announcement I'll go with YouTube only, so please make sure you will be active there. You will be just checking it out, but definitely not very soon. So if you are someone who is quite interested, I would suggest purchase that course, start learning from that course. And in between, if you're getting any doubt, I'm always there. You can just always mail me out that, Priya, I'm learning from this specific recording, and this is the concern which I have. I'm not able to understand this concept. Maybe we will try to schedule a separate meeting with you, and then we will try to resolve your concerns. That's what I can do from my part as of now. Uh, After MLDL, do we have to start LLM and generative AI, or we can start randomly? See, many people usually ask from me this question that, with respect to this Gen AI, what are the prerequisites to learn? Or any fresher can also go and explore about this Gen AI. Let me tell you one simple idea. See, these particular things are going on. Please start exploring side by side. But by saying that, don't forget to learn the conceptual understanding, the foundations. So, if you are a beginner, always start your journey by learning the statistical concepts, by learning the machine learning first, then moving towards deep learning, then moving towards NLP. Also, side by side, keep exploring the research which is going on currently. You can learn side by side these tools, maybe Claude AI, what is that? Who designed that tool? What is the internal working of that tool? But by saying that, please side by side keep on learning the foundational things. Machine learning is the foundation of data science. If you are saying that I am very great expert in Gen AI, I know everything end to end, but I'm not at all aware about machine learning, there is a big gap there. So please try to learn from the foundation. I always say start learning DSA, because that is the foundation of your whatever domain you will go. That is the only reason I'm saying that. So these things anyhow in future will help you out. When you will be learning the things in detail, when you will deep dive into it, you will be able to understand why I'm saying this statement, that foundations are very important. Don't miss that. uh, Tools will come and go. Today is a chat GPT, tomorrow you don't know whatever new tool will come. But these foundations will always be there, right? So please make sure that you will learn, start from machine learning, then deep learning, like that, step by step. But by saying that, whatever new things are coming up, you should be aware about all those technologies. You should keep on exploring those stuffs as well, side by side. Okay. Please create a playlist on data analytics. I want to learn from you only. There is a plan in future to create a specific playlist on data analytics as well, but it will take a lot of time, because as of now we will complete first of all SQL playlist. Then we will try to finish our ML playlist as well. Maybe then afterwards we can explore towards the data analytics also. If you are someone who is highly interested to learn from me physically, so there is a physical sessions also I used to take on weekends, collaborated with Geeks for Geeks. You can just check it out in Bangalore. There is a third batch which will start very soon in June month. You can just check it out, that batch from 22nd of June. I'll start this particular batch. Second batch is still going on. Maybe if you are interested and if you want to learn data analytics from me personally, physically, so there will be physical sessions which is going on in Bangalore specifically. You can just check it out. Okay. Let's move ahead to the next question. Thank you so much. Love from Bangladesh. Thank you so much for all your love and support. Is ML bootcamp along with DSA knowledge enough to get into this field? See, nothing is enough. I will not say ki it's enough, but I would say it's a starting point. From there, your learning journey will start in this domain of data science. See, there is a lot more. And if you are a fresher, maybe it is fine, but nowadays, expectations from job side is also a lot more. After machine learning, if you can get a good knowledge of this deep learning also, that would be a plus point. And it also depends job specific roles as well. There are companies who are specifically hiring for machine learning engineer per se. For that, I would say it's enough. Specifically, if you're applying for machine learning engineer position in any company, in that scenario, it is enough. But definitely, if you are applying for data scientist, if you're applying for computer vision engineer, if you're applying for NLP based task, generative AI based task, then definitely there is a lag. So it depends on which particular company you're applying and for which role you're applying and how much experience you are showcasing to them, right? Accordingly, you can decide that is that enough or not. Next question by Pratik is, how much Python knowledge is required for ML bootcamp? So, see, I think you guys must be aware that we do have a playlist of Python in our channel, Python programming the ultimate playlist. If you are aware until this much, whatever concepts I have covered up in my playlist of Python, that is enough. That is enough for ML bootcamp part. So that's why those people who are already enrolled in ML bootcamp, they already know in the starting of the dashboard itself, I attached two playlists for them. One is this, another one is statistical playlist, and that is a prerequisite for them to cover up before they will come for ML bootcamp on 13th May. I have already mentioned that please be aware about these two things because I cannot cover up everything in one bootcamp. I really want you all to be aware about this Python programming, whatever concepts I have covered up in this playlist, plus the statistical concepts, whatever concepts I have covered up in stats. So again, we do have a playlist of stats. If you will go and check it out, where is that? This is the playlist I'm referring. Stats for data science. These two are the prerequisites, and if you are already aware about these concepts, you are good to go. DSA is required. DSA is good to have. If you are applying for startups, let's say, maybe they will not ask you too much DSA. But if you're applying for tier one based companies, product based companies, definitely DSA is important. And SQL is also important. So, whatever topics I am covering up in SQL, all those things, please make sure you will learn. That is, again, very, very important. If you are trying to enter in any of the data specific domain, SQL is very important to learn, right? For machine learning, SQL is not important. If you're asking just for attending this ML bootcamp, so for attending ML bootcamp, only Python and stats playlist should be covered up. For interview purpose, I am saying SQL plus the knowledge of DSA is also important. But to attend this ML bootcamp, only two things are prerequisites. One is the Python playlist. Second one is the playlist of stats. Maybe in future, if let's say students who are enrolled in my bootcamp, they will say, Ki, Priya, we are learning from that video of Python, and maybe we won't be able to understand some XYZ concept. Then I'll try to take that question in the live itself, and I'll try to explain those concepts in the live session. But definitely, I really want from your side to have at least one go through with respect to the videos which are already available. That is plus point. I loved SQL Bootcamp D and waiting for ML Bootcamp to start. But I must say the frequency of such bootcamps is less. Uh, थोड़ा जल्दी रिलीज किया करो बूट कैंप्स वेरी eagerly waiting for it. Definitely, but you can also understand I am the only one who is managing each and everything, and there are so many commitments as of now. I have to see the YouTube also. I have other multiple things also going on. Then plus bootcamp is also there. Few projects also I'm currently working with. At the correct time, I'll share that information also with everyone. But what I'm trying to convey is that definitely things are happening on its pace, and I'm trying to do my level best in order to create such kind of boot camps. See, what really matters to me is the quality. uh, I don't care about the quantity of boot camps which I'm launching in a year or in a month. What I really care is the that's why you will be able to observe limited seats are there, because I'm really looking forward to the quality people who are sincere enough, and you will observe the kind of community which we will be able to build via those boot camps, because already two boot camps we have completed, SQL and DSA. So amazing students I get to know, right? They're so sincere in their life, and I'm really sure they will do something great in their own life, right? That kind of students energy I really want, because that really motivates me as well to learn more, to explore more, to do something for you all, right? That is the real thing which I am looking forward. Nothing as such more than that. And I'm really grateful that I'm getting these kind of opportunities to see you all, to teach you all, to learn from you all. That is something which is motivating me to wake up in the morning and to do so much hard work till the night, right? So thanks a lot for that. Please, deep learning bootcamp. Yes, in the future, that's the next plan. देखो, डीप लर्निंग पढ़ने के लिए आपको मशीन लर्निंग आना चाहिए. So everything will go in sequence. My whole idea of this particular website, Tech for All with Priya, is to share the courses with respect to data specific domain. So in future you can plan all those stuffs, whatever is really important to enter into data specific domain. So whatever knowledge I have gained so far, or I am gaining on a daily basis, I will definitely try to share on this platform. So please stay tuned on this platform, whatever new courses are coming up. Even for the initial few enrollments, I always give few offers as well. So if you can attain that offers itself, that will be a good thing. Apart from this, it's just to uh, you know motivate people to just start learning. That's the only thing. But anyhow, it doesn't really matter. What I'm trying to convey here is every course is itself a superb course, and whenever I try to see my own courses on the website, it really motivates me. The kind of feedback, if you will just go to DSA course, let's say we'll go, and you will see the response of the people, the videos which I have shared on this portal, the kind of feedback, right? The kind of changes, even nowadays also they are pinging me, their messages me that we are getting a job, this is what your bootcamp impacts to us, right? For example, in SQL, see the feedback, like the people are so humble, that whatever things they are sharing, this really motivates me on this website, that okay, I have to do something great for you all, right? Perfect. It's been 1.5 hours approximately to be with you all. Really feels awesome. And I think it's after a long time I am here again, right? I don't even remember when was the last time we did a live session. Anyhow, I'm really expecting from everyone to do a comment after this session, whatever learnings you have gained with respect to today's session. And if you want further more sessions like this with respect to generative AI, with respect to the current things which is going on in the market, in the research part per se, whatever topics, if you have any suggestions for me that Priya, please try to cover up this topic in the next particular live session, we will be happy to discuss those points with you. So maybe you can also share with me genuine feedback in the comment section. I definitely look forward to all the comments and will definitely respond you. Whatever things I will feel that okay I can do for you all, definitely I'll try to do for you, right? So with this, thank you so much for sharing this much amount of time with me. It really means a lot to me. Please do hit like button, please do share this video with everyone. I hope that from this past 1.5 hours you have learned something amazing out of it, and I'll see you all very soon in the upcoming video where we will discuss another amazing things with respect to data science, with respect to DSA, and many more stuffs, right? Bye bye everyone, and see ya. Good night.